Welcome back, fans and friends, to this upcoming video. I have to break up the green lights because I do have a really large number of green lights. So what we're going to do now is go back to the Matchbox International Series. I call it that because it says France here, but I've seen the France one with the Jeep on it, so I don't know what to say. I really do like how this car looks. Came totally out of the blue. I saw this on the shelf and said, what is that? It's actually not DS Automobiles. I believe this is a recent creation, and this car itself is a Citroën DS21, and then the Pallas is the trim. So this car introduced a few features like the hydrodynamic suspension, turning lights, and so on. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's as far as I read. And there we have exactly what the vehicle is, and then the 3 Plus 2022. And it is a very odd looking car, to say the least. Has the impact bumpers there, the rear license plate. We can see exactly what's printed up here, but on the back of it, D21 Pallas, DS21 Pallas, and the same thing printed on the front license plate. And it appears the lights are just painted over. Like I said, it's really an odd looking car, but I did like how it does. Just because odd, different, doesn't mean it's bad. And so it's the 9 out of 12. I've covered, I think, 5 out of 12, which was that Spider from Porsche. And there we have again 1968 DS21 Pallas, and the sights and sounds of the road are colored by the vehicles that use them. Whether you're on the A6, a French country road, or in the city center, this Matchbox France collection celebrates your everyday adventures. And then we have empowering the next generation through play, exactly what they say on the Hot Wheels 2022. And imported, obviously, by Mattel Canada and DS Automobiles. Like I said, people can correct me, but I do believe it's actually Citroën and not DS Automobiles. I believe that's a recent creation by the French companies. Some of them have amalgamated. I don't know if this is a brand of it, but anyway, it says DS Pallas, but everywhere I looked for it says Citroën. So I'm just going to call it the DS21 Pallas from here on in. If you don't want to call it a Citroën, don't call it a Citroën. I will look for trademarks on the back of the labeling to see what it says here, because that's the only way to truly know who's lying. It doesn't say anything, it just says the DS here. So, okay, so I'm going to ask for forgiveness because I don't want permission. So, just going to go ahead and get it out of its package. So, if you're not a fan of French automobiles, I cannot tell you anything about them because I know very little. Just what I saw, I think what it was the Grand Tour or Top Gear. They had like a special on French vehicles and how weird they are. So I'm just going to say I bought this because of how unique it looks. That's the word I'm looking for, unique. It is unique. So here we have it. And continuing the trend of nice and clear see-through windshields. Rearview mirrors right there. And we have everything else done really well. Nice and shiny, no uneven paints. Once again, I apologize for the black background and black car. We had that issue with the Mercury. I personally do approve of any color car that you want, but they only have this one. They might release, I see the Julia I did from Matchbox. They now have white ones and blue ones. So it's only a matter of time before all the funky variations come out, and then you can get whatever one you wish. And the steering wheel on the left side there, as you know, France drives the same as everybody else. Have nothing else intelligent to say about this car, other than I would love for this hood to open. So green light if you're listening, M2 Deluxe, they usually don't do this, but Mini GT or somebody, do this car. It's what I saw online. The spare tire is here, which is fantastic. The engine is a little bit farther back to keep the wheels free. Like I said, it's hydrodynamic suspension and a wide turn radius. So I guess if there's not, oh here, who's lying now? It's Citroën DS 1968 and made in Thailand 2007. So this is a re-release. However, I highly approve of this re-release because, like I said, it is fairly unique. It is one of those things where you look at it and you say, you can't tell where it's from. If you didn't know it was a Citroën or anything like that, you would say, okay, well, who builds the weirdest cars? France. So it's probably French. And the impact bumper is the only other thing of note. Like I said before, everything else is just painted on. But it does look nice. Like, it does look like those are inserts. So for some strange reason, Mattel does a really good job of making it look like it is worth more than what you paid for it. I do like this car. It is going on the table of, there's two tables. I have the table where I put everything else, and then the ones I really like. So here we have it. I just want to cut myself off because, like I said, this car is just so weird. I want to keep talking about a car I know nothing about. But without a popping hood, there can only be so much. I do like this, although it probably makes the tire a real pain to change. Nice chrome bumpers on the front and back, in contrast to the overall black color of the rest of the vehicle. So why, I can't really compare them. But I do have the Mercury from the previous video. You can see their chrome bumper contrasting the black body paint. And I apologize, the last thing I can actually cover is the license plates. You can see there, DS21 Pallas, nice and cleanly written on the front plate. And the opposite, white on black, DS21 Pallas on the rear plate. All the lights nice and evenly painted. So if you're a fan of the odd and unusual, I'm gonna keep gushing over this car that I just randomly found at a Walmart. I cannot recommend it enough. It is a nice oddity in an otherwise American, Japanese, and British catalog of cars, and German too. There are a couple of German cars I have, and here we now have a French car. So I thank you, fans and friends, for watching. I'm gonna cut myself off. See, even the cat likes this unusual car. And this is Thomas from Toronto, and till the next one.